Arthur, you had one job, bro. Before we hop into this review of Four Knights of the Apocalypse, please do me a favor and leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got the pencil here, and here we are to review Chapter 1 of Four Knights of the Apocalypse, the 7 Deadly Sins sequel. And it's a pretty good chapter, I'm not even gonna lie. It's a great opener for the series because it does something very, very well. It opens up with a lot of questions, and really more questions than I can possibly think of, and they're probably more that I'm missing. And not just questions in what the series tells us through words, but also what the series shows us. But let's hop right into it. Let's start from the beginning. So we open up on this weird island with this kid that I have no idea who he was, and this old man who I had no idea who he was. Now, this may just be me, but I thought the series was supposed to be following Tristan, Meliodas' son. However, I suppose he's our main character. Percival is one of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, and we're probably going to spend the first couple chapters hopping around to each individual one, seeing what they're doing with their lives at the moment, and then we'll eventually catch up with Tristan and possibly Arthur. And it's just the opening chapter, the opening of the chapter is just a nice little peek into their way of life. They survive by killing sky birds, which I honestly thought was like a goddess demon hybrid, because the stone bird looks a lot like a blue demon, but it has the goddess wing type. But that's just me. I don't know. My head instantly went theory crafting when I first saw that, and I also went theory crafting immediately because I'll admit I didn't wait for it to be translated. I read the raw immediately, so I thought, hey, yo, is this in the goddess realm, bro? Mainly because I saw what I thought was a floating island, but we get established that this is a mountain. But it's just a nice opener. We see the two Gramps or biologists and Percival just living their lives. They eat, they wrestle, they do a lot of good stuff. They're having fun, and then we see that every single one of their days is pretty much the same, and it gets a little bit mundane, except of course now Percival is turning 16. And while I'm going to talk about Percival and what I think about his design and his character in a bit, it's fine, it's cool. It's supposed to be the break in the monotony. And obviously 16 is a big number. It's your late teenhood, 2 years till you're a full official adult, and you're just doing good, honestly. And of course, that would be a break in the mundane life, and it explains why Percival is supposed to go out on an adventure at this age. Why Balgus, his grandfather, is like, yeah, you gotta go look at all the great, wonderful things, all the amazing things out in the world that you can go do, you can go take care of. And of course, Percival's like, but no, Dad. I said, Dad. No, Gramps, I want to be here with you because, you're a cool guy and you're raising me and all that's great. And he brings up multiple interesting things here, and this is where I'm going to take a break. Twisting towers where eccentric magicians dwell. I feel like that's where Merlin is, and if not Merlin, then I think Gother. Knights who sail ships of illusions through the heavens. I think that's revealed to later be I keep saying Tristan, Percival's dad. Caves with countless openings that lead to the underworld. Now, here's the thing about that. Does that mean that the barriers between the worlds are breaking? Because when I think of the underworld in terms of 7 deadly sins, I'm thinking of, well, obviously the demon world. However, the realm of the mortal realm and the demon realm are split off usually. Like, you need to open up portals to them. But of course, Arthur, with his reality manipulation, could literally have just opened portals, could have changed things. And then what gets me the most is evil lake princesses that tempt heroes and imprison them. That's what gets me in thinking, like, oh, so that is... Because there were theories, shout out to the people in the comment section, there were theories when the Lancelot one-shot came out that that's what happened to Lancelot. My man just got by the Lady of the Lake and he was done and gone, which is entirely possible, and now even more likely with the way that Balgus is talking about it. And then the labyrinthian forest that you can never escape should you lose your way. Now, I'm either thinking this is a reference to the Forest of White Dreams from all the way back in Season 1, the first arc of 7 Deadly Sins, or this is the Fairy King's Forest. Either one works, but I feel like it's more the Forest of White Dreams because the Fairy King's Forest was never really malicious. So I doubt it would be that one. However, we move on and we see... I'm just going to talk about it here. I don't like Percival's design. Especially this opening design. I don't know, it just looks so weird to me. And the fact that he's 16 also throws me off too. I thought this kid was 8. But no, this guy is 16. He looks younger than Meliodas did. And Meliodas was explicitly looked like a child. But I don't know, I really, really don't like Percival's design. I think it gets better when he covers the hair up. But this one this one image of him, I'm gonna see if I can put it on screen. This one image of him where he's eating, and it's just a mess. And that's the thing. Nakaba's art is still great, and Bal just really reminds me of Escanor, like in terms of body size, everything, the way he looks. And I think his design is great. I think Ironside's design is great. I don't know, it's just Percival himself is just not sitting right with me, and I don't know, that may just be me. I hope other people are enjoying it, but I don't know. His design didn't sit right, and that's the thing. It looks fine when it's close up, but I don't know, that whole head design, the fact that he's 16, Percival's just a weird character to me. But that's about it. So then, mundane breaks again. Percival's 16, and Ironside shows up. Ironside shows up, and then the plot thickens. Gosh darn it. Well, first off, we're not in the goddess realm like I initially thought after reading the Raws, because we're just on a big old mountain, and the mountain reaches up into the sky, and it's called God's Finger. So there's that. However, the thing that gets me is that this guy is floating through the sky on a ship, but obviously magic, this world, not too surprising. What gets me is that, like, there are rumors about this stuff, and that makes me wonder how much has the world expanded in this time skip, because obviously it's a massive time skip, and obviously Arthur has been king for a while at this point. So I'm wondering, where was the magical leap? What did it happen? Was it Arthur's doing? Was this just people progressing on their own? What is the case with the 7 deadly sins right now? Because you got to remember, really, the only people who shouldn't be able to fight are Elizabeth and Bond, because they're aging. And even then, we don't know how long the gap has been. And in the 10 years that Tristan was born, Bond didn't look like he aged too much. But it's been another 16 years since the point that Lancelot one-shot, so Bond is likely getting up there in age, so I can give Bond a pass. Well, I can't give a pass, though, Meliodas. I can't give a pass to King. I can't give a pass to Diane, because I can tell it hasn't been centuries. Or at least I'm assuming it hasn't been centuries, because Tristan's supposed to still be alive at this point. And while Tristan is a demon-human part goddess hybrid, I'm not sure what his lifespan would be that he's still going to be traveling around with this 16-year-old kid-looking guy. So I don't know. I'm really interested to see how much time has passed, where everyone is, because that's the main issue for anything along the lines of a sequel series in general. If it's not like hundreds of years in the future and everyone's dead, we have characters from the past, very strong characters, mind you, Full Wings King, possibly Droll's Dance Diane, post-Purgatory Meliodas. We have all these really strong characters, post-Infinity Merlin, post-Memories Gothel. We have all these really strong characters who have no reason to be dead. So I'm wondering what's happening, because we basically skipped straight to the point. We see that Ironside he comes in, talks about how Balgus Grams has ended up betraying King Arthur, and that there's a prophecy telling the downfall of King Arthur, or his doom in short. And this raises questions. It raises a couple questions. One, Arthur, what happened, bro? I thought you were supposed to make a perfect, calm world where everyone could be happy, but your own men are going out killing old men and kids. Like, come on now, bro, what happened? And also, according to Balgus, a group betrayed Arthur while he only abandoned Arthur. Like, what did Arthur do? What happened? What transpired? I'm literally just confused. And I'm also confused on why Ironside came out and killed his own kid. I know, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse and everything, and they're like the reason Arthur's going to have his downfall. However, I mean, that's your son, bro. Like, there was no reason to. However, I can also see that he still does care for his son a bit, because there's absolutely no way, unless, I don't know what Percival is. Maybe he's not a pure human, but he looks like a pure human. I don't get any fairy vibes. I don't get any. He definitely doesn't look like a giant. He doesn't look, I mean, I don't see any goddess symbols manifesting in his eyes, nor do I see any demon marks. So I don't know how he survived, but he managed to, which is impressive. But the thing here is that now that we know that he's alive, and he knows that his dad is out here trying to kill all the possible 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, what is he supposed to do? This kid's a 16-year-old idiot who has known nothing but this little rock floating in the sky, and now he's supposed to go out on his own and figure everything out? I mean, it's possible. He can try, but this is kind of, we're in a really weird spot, and I have a lot of questions. But that's a good thing. I'd say when you're opening up a series, the best thing to do is to get your reader to ask questions. That's gonna make you stick around, and I'm definitely sticking around to see what happened. Because Arthur, he literally had one job, but it seems like he failed that extraordinarily. Now, to the little details that I noticed that match throughout the chapter to certain things we've seen in 7 Deadly Sins. One, they mentioned the I don't know why the Sky People's name left me for a second. Hold on. The Celestials, that's it. They mentioned the Celestials, and obviously the Celestials really only showed up in that one movie, and of course, like, they're canonized through the fact that Mael was wielding the winged sword that they had in the movie, and that was the whole rite of passage. The ball just knows they exist, so I'm not sure what that does for the canonicity of that movie, but honestly, still doesn't make much sense. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Number two, I'm going to say that Ironside's attacks remind me very much of Ludashell's attacks, and since they remind me very much of Ludashell's attacks, they remind me of Goddess attacks. And here's the thing, humans have always had the potential for both light and darkness, but the thing is they never necessarily manifested it at any time, like at all. We see humans manifest a bunch of different magics, very much more varied magics than the ones of other species. Like demons use darkness, goddesses use light, fairies use nature, giants use earth, but there have been lightning powers, wind powers, wall powers. Like, there's been crazy amounts of powers within the humans. So it makes me wonder, are the humans finally figuring out how to manipulate the basic concepts like light and darkness? And if so, what does that mean for characters who only rely on light and darkness? Like, is Meliodas getting clapped up by these random humans who are now wielding light? I don't know. We're in a very questionable state right now. And another question is, who's alive and who's Ironside going after next? Because you would think that Meliodas, the person who was worried about Arthur having chaos powers in the first place, if he's still alive, would probably not be very happy that the entire world's fallen to ruin because Arthur is messing up with his chaos powers. At least that's what I'm assuming what's happening. Because really, a lot of this is speculation based off of what little information we have. We've had no idea who Percival was. We have no idea who his gramps was. None of this was referenced before. And hold on, I'm thinking of something and I'm about to Google. Alright, I Googled, I am back, and I can confidently say that Belle and Snow and Percival were mentioned anywhere, so I have no idea who they are, and I really have absolutely zero context. But it'd be like that when it'd be like that sometimes. Now the question is, where are we going next? Are we going to be hopping around to the other fortnights? Are we going to be following Percival on his journey through the world? Are we doing anything really pertaining to the original characters who are supposedly still alive? The only character we know for sure is alive is Arthur, because his doom is being forecasted. It's on the menu, but it hasn't been served yet. So we know he's still around. But due to Arthur still being around, I can assume that Merlin is still around, especially due to the mention of the witches in strange castles. I can also assume that King and Diane are still alive because, you know, age and stuff like that. If they've been slaughtered, that's wild, and I hope you don't off-screen that. I want to see King go out in a blaze of glory, gosh darn it. Same thing with Meliodas. If he's dead, you better show me it, gosh darn it. I need to see it. I need to see it, alright? Can I get Arthur versus Meliodas? I know Meliodas loses that fight 10 times out of 11. 10 times out of 11? 11 times out of 10. But still, I want to see it. And honestly, it's a good opening chapter. It's a solid 8 out of 10. The only thing that holds this chapter back for me is Percival himself. I hate his design. And I think his character's okay, but I think Gramps was a cool character, gave me massive Escanor vibes, and his little fight scene that he got before he got popped out of existence, great. I think it was good. I like Ironside mainly for the fact that he has a really cool design. His powers, while very much reminding me of Goddess Clan powers, the way he uses them, the way he doesn't, I mean, he pulled out and sword fought for a little bit, but the way he just points at things and the symbol just flashes from his hands and cuts through things, very interesting fighting style. I can't wait to see more of him. I hope Percival grows older, because he, like, this 16-year-old scrawny kid, I don't think I can follow him. I'm not saying that so far, but it's one chapter in, you gotta give it time, and I will give it time, because obviously I'm more intrigued once again with Seven Deadly Sins. While my favorite part about Seven Deadly Sins, the original series, was the characters. One of the biggest reasons I stuck around for so long when the story was going absolutely nuts was because of the world itself. I think Seven Deadly Sins has an amazingly interesting world, and I can't wait to see more of it. So I hope to see an updated state of the world. I hope to get a roster of who's alive and who's dead and what's going on. And honestly, I can't wait. Solid 8 out of 10 opening chapter. The journey begins, and honestly, can't wait to see more. Also, I don't know much about Arthurian legend. The most I know about Arthurian legend is what I've read of Seven Deadly Sins and Sonic and the Black Knight. I think that's what it's called. Sonic and the Black Knight? Sonic and the Black Knight? Google time. Back from Google time. It is Sonic and the Black Knight. That's my limit of Arthurian knowledge legend. So that's all I know. And I'm wondering if like these swords that are supposed to like correlate to Excalibur are going to have any meaning outside of, you know, they're just like cool nifty references. Because I think it's notable that Ironside mentioned, oh, you're using the sword the king gave you as a kitchen knife. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds spicy. But that's it. That's all my theory. Please drop your theories about this in the comment section down below. I want to hear it because this honestly seems like a very interesting start for a very solid series. But that's all, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.